Welcome back to the Only Points podcast with your host, your boy, Eddie Garcia. We got the beast of the East, Eddie Mercado. We got Alexis Martinez in the house. Again, we're here doing a quick podcast episode, no updates. We want to get straight to the sauce this time. So, the very first topic we want to talk about is financial literacy. Why? Because it is so important to keep learning, you guys. Every single day, it's a learning process because we need to become better as entrepreneurs on a daily basis. So much to cover, you guys. So we're trying to empower entrepreneurs here. So to start it off, Eddie Mercado, give us some advices where a young entrepreneur, a young business owner, what do they need to learn in order to actually become successful besides just learning a skill? Like for example, hey, someone took a course on how to learn business credit. Cool, they have this knowledge, but how do you actually build a business with what you know?
Well, just to backtrack a little bit, uh, what you need to what you need to know and what you need to learn is everything that you didn't learn in school. How was that for America?
Well, fuck. Oh, dude, that's a lot of studying right there,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. So in essence, obviously a lot of legal paperwork. Um, when it comes down to you needing to learn uh, financial literacy, obviously you need a properly filed LLC along with your EIN number. And the way that I like to explain this is like we are our own entities, correct? And then there is a social security number that we are attached to. Then there's the business entity and the EIN number. EIN stands for employer identification number. That is the social security number to the business, to the entity, correct? And that's probably an analogy where everybody's like, oh, now it makes total sense, correct? The
Right.
reason why is because that's a concept. It's a concept that you can apply to everything else. So learning concepts is super, super important. Another thing, obviously learning proper paperwork. When it comes down to me, like I'm the ecom guy, I needed to learn how to file for sales taxes just so that I can be tax exempt, uh, becoming familiar with bookkeeping, but I have an accountant that does that for me. Of course, I have an employee because I don't want to become an expert at something that is so simple to like learn, but it's going to deviate too much of my time. So I'd much rather obviously hire a professional, somebody that's better than me at that, and just focus on that. I would much rather focus on something that makes me more money than anything.
Yeah, so actually to add on top of that, a lot of people make the mistake of wanting to learn everything in their business when you got to realize that like a business owner cannot do everything in a business, and they need to be able to learn how to delegate and hire professionals in order to be able to make their business better and to be able to make their business grow. I am firsthand experience of this because one of my biggest issues was once I learned credit, dude, I'm the credit guy, right? I learned personal credit, learned business credit. But then when I started trying to build a business behind it, it's like, well, shoot, how do I market myself? How do I bring leads? What about a contract? Is this even the right contract? Is this legally binding? Like, it's so many things to learn. At first, I was taking payments over sale to my personal account, which again, not the right way to do it. Setting up the LLC, getting the EI number. Hey, am I supposed to file the LLC in what states? And then how do I pay taxes? And what's a registered agent, right? And doing and navigating all these things is something that you just learning a skill is not going to teach you. And you need to be able
Correct.
to find the people adequate to come into your business and be able to help you out with that. They first set it up and then you learn, oh my God, that was not that hard. And they explain it so well that next time when I start my next business, I could probably do it myself real quick and set it up, right? So for example, the first time I ever filed for an LLC, actually the first three times I ever filed for an LLC, another company did it for me, right? And then after I saw it, I was like, I think it's so straightforward that I think I can do this shit. And then, yeah, it was very easy. I learned how to do it for like Wyoming because everybody wanted a Wyoming LLC because like of the anonymity and all this the stuff that Wyoming supposedly promises you. And so I've opened so many LLCs under Wyoming, but now that's something I feel extremely comfortable doing. But when first starting out, that's something a skill that I did not have. And then eventually learning how to apply for the EIN number, which you guys learning how to apply for an EIN number is very easy. All you have to do is watch a 10-minute YouTube video and it is free. So even if there's a company that wants to charge you for it, just don't. It's very straight, simple. It's an easy skill that you can acquire to be able to obtain, right? The other stuff that I highly recommend you guys to outsource at first is like what Eddie said, is the bookkeeping aspect, because you fucking up and in having issues with the IRS is just going to be a headache in the long term, right? So if you just get an accountant, and funny enough, even before a few months ago, I was doing this still wrong. Me, who's been in years in a few in business for a few years already, I was doing that whole shit wrong. So I had to hire a professional accountant, someone who does private equity and does acquisitions. This guy's a beast, and he's coming to all my companies. He's like, fuck, we gotta fix all of this, right? And I'm like, shit. But that's the whole point. And then eventually, probably once I feel comfortable, I'm like, okay, I can eventually for my next company hire a virtual assistant who has done bookkeeping before, and I can make sure that they're doing it correctly. Because even if I hire a virtual assistant right now who has experience in it, I wouldn't know if they're doing the right job or the wrong job, right? I wouldn't know if they're doing it right or wrong. But with this guy, I know he has a company that specializes in that. If they do it wrong, I can hold them accountable, right?
Correct.
So it is first learning a valuable skill and then learning how to actually set it up properly. And there's, guess what, you guys, there's coaches for that. There's business mentors that show you where to actually file your LLC, how to do it, right? How to get the EIN number. What is an accountant? What is a CPA? What is the tax strategist? What's the difference between all three of them? And how do they work together? What type do I need? Business insurance? Do I need a business license? Do I go to the city? Do I go to the state for that? Do I go to the IRS for that? Right? There's so many things that you guys need to know. But guess what? Don't let that be the determining factor of not starting. You guys can fix that later down the road. Even if it's like a year later down the road, it's way better to go back and fix it than to never start at all. So this is one of the biggest problems that I see a lot of entrepreneurs mess up when they're like, spend 3 weeks, 4 weeks thinking about the business name because they want the coolest, catchiest business possible, right? Alexis, you laugh. Do you have experience with that?
Yeah, I mean, I remember we were all in the 8-week mentorship and the one with our boy Sean Sharma, and I just remember seeing like a few people like, but what should I name this LLC? Like how do I go about this? Like how do I know that I chose the right one? But the point was that Sean Sharma and a few of the students as well, like ourselves, were saying, bro, like just don't even worry about it. Like just do something simple, like for example, AM Holdings LLC or something like that. You know, your initials. Don't take too much time. You know, figuring out a fancy name. You know.
Yeah, you guys. So here's the secret sauce, you guys. Especially this is gonna be coming from someone that does business credit. So I'm keeping in mind business credit opportunities here, and I'm thinking about just liability protection. Name your company something like the LLC name has to be something where it's not like nobody would know that it's yours and nobody would know what it does. Like that's what you want your LLC name to be. For all like for to cover all your bases. Like clear window, clear window. I'm just looking at a clear window right now. So clear window LLC, right? What does clear window LLC do? No fucking idea, right? But guess what? Down, let's say down 3 months down, once you're already doing whatever you're doing, and now you finally have a brand, you built up a brand, you had 3 months to think of a super cool catchy name that you're going to be using for marketing purposes. then you just file a DBA. You just file a DBA and attach it to the LLC, then boom, that's it. It's very easy. It cost me, I think it was like $60 or $100. No, it was I can't remember. In the state of Wyoming, it was like either 60 or $100 to file a DBA. It's not that expensive, and that DBA lasts for 10 years. So, again, you guys there's, even though we're telling you guys, oh my God, you guys have to learn so much in order to do business right. Don't let that be a discouragement of starting, because every single entrepreneur, trust me, when they first started their first business, I'm pretty sure they were breaking all types of laws. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. They probably owed taxes for the last 3 years, dude. I have multimillionaires who, because again, my business credit, I deal with a lot of people that do commercial real estate, single family homes. They're doing huge e-commerce stores. They're doing multi-million dollars. And they're like, yeah, I haven't paid my taxes in the last 3 years. I was like, what the fuck? Right? So trust me,
It happens.
it happens. It
Does.
is what it is. So don't let that be the thing that is deterring you from starting.
But you know what? You know what? It's funny that you say that. A lot of people, and it's super, super important that you pointed out to not be discouraged. The reason why these people are so successful is because they're so driven that they are willing to make mistakes and break some laws that are going to cause some fine. But look at how successful they are. Look at how far they've actually come versus people that are, like you stated, want to focus on a super cool name at the very beginning and they haven't even started. Like staying in square one is probably a lot of people's biggest mistakes. And I've always said this: time is your biggest scam. If you're considering doing something next month, why are you waiting until next month to do it? You know what's so stupid? I'm actually gonna shit on myself right now. I literally told myself in December, I was like, I am going to renew my passport in February because it's going to expire in May. Just guess.
Yeah,
Just
you
guess.
didn't get your passport in time.
No, I've always had my passport.
Oh,
It's
okay.
expired and it's in my bag. And now I can't leave the country. But of course, like it's kind of funny. Now I'm going to like run that back and I fix that. Here's a little loophole for that. I can easily and simply book a fully refundable international trip, submit that to a specific website. You guys have to figure that one out because I'm not just gonna be here giving out all this free sauce. And request in a what is it? Expedite a passport because I'm gonna be leaving the country, and they should be shipping it out in like 3 or 4 days. So there's that, and that is something that we learned.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. So you guys, if you guys need to leave the country quick, or you just want your passport quickly, you guys can just book an international flight, which again, it doesn't need to be expensive. From San Diego to Tijuana, let's go. Right? So and then just use that to submit it to the authorities, and you guys should be able to get your passport a lot quicker. But yeah, no, awesome. Thank you for that free gem, bro. That's great. So what are things that everybody can be doing now in order to build out that financial literacy? I'm going to start, and this is something that I'm actually working on right now. So one of the things that I'm working on with my personal brand is to be able to give free value all the time. I want to be able to be known as, again, the credit specialist, and I just want to be able to provide as much value as possible, right, to people. And one of the questions that a lot of entrepreneurs like myself get asked all the time: hey, I'm a young entrepreneur, I'm just starting out, what do you recommend, what resources did you recommend for me to become better, right, at this entrepreneurship journey, to be able to what tools can you give me to empower myself? And so right now I'm creating a website on Notion. So if you guys are not using Notion, you guys got to use Notion, where I'm going to list the top books for every section that is going to help an entrepreneur. For example, I'm going to do the top 5 classics, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, those type of books. probably anywhere from 3 to 5. And then the next section will be all about mindset. Cool. The extreme ownership, a must, right? What's the other one? 10x by Grant Cardone. There's so many other ones that I want to include in that section. Then I want to add a section about how to become a great marketer, how to build a story, hey, how to build a team, like, right? All these, like, now that once you have all that, if you want to get into real estate, here's the top 5 real estate books that I highly recommend that I've read personally. Here's like the top 5 stock books, and then whatever sections, then we can go and branch off that way. And then at the bottom, I'm going to show how everybody can get those books for free, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in getting that, send me a DM called books and my Instagram. So Eddie R. Garcia is right there on the Zoom call, Eddie R. Garcia 23. Send me a DM. I'll send you guys the way in order to get that for free. Cool. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on free deliverables for people like that.
I think it's actually kind of crazy how you said that you're always constantly giving out free value. On Saturday, I took a couple of the girls out to eat just because I had $200 in food credit, which I think I'm gonna go back to that same joint and eat again for free.
There you go.
And it was so crazy because they're like, well, first off, I'd like to start off by saying in a crowd, if I hear the word credit, I'm trying to make eye contact with the person that said that. So I'm not saying this so that you guys can mess with me. Like if we go to like a club or something like that and you guys start whispering credit, like under like your guys' breath or something like that, you guys will definitely see me like looking around, but don't do that. But anytime I hear that, it's like immediately catches my attention.
What if I tell you, hey, credit's over here? Your boy Credit.
I could be. I'd probably have to like look down. I'd have to like
start scanning the floor, bro.
411 King. The big Balenciaga shoes. No, so
Cancel.
And possibly a jump rope. No, so I took.
You'll find it right next to Steve Aoki.
Yeah, for sure. That one's a given for sure. No, so I took all the girls out to eat on Saturday, and I was like, "Oh, like, can I look at your guys' like credit scores?" And of course, one of them is like, "Oh, like my credit score is like terrible," and I was like, "I don't think you understand. Like, at the table, I have the worst credit score right now because of my situation, and I'll be 100% honest. I was like, I'm not gonna say what credit score, but I haven't seen that specific credit score ever in my entire life, in my entire existence." Like if I told you guys, you'd be like, why are you even preaching about credit? Well, the thing is, I have the knowledge to get it back to the 800. Like the highest I've ever been is 817. And am I bragging about it? Absolutely. But the thing was, like at the time, all my 0% APR credit cards were going to shit. And I quickly learned that having a thicker profile, actually utilizing my credit cards, leveraging them for my business was much, much better. I stretched out. Took the girls out to eat. I started talking to them about credit. They're like, "Oh, like my credit score looks terrible right now." And I looked. Their credit limit, well, this one specifically, not to say names, her credit limit specifically was like 3,000. Like, let's just be nice and say 3,800 on 3 different credit cards. And I was like, look, girl, it's your 3,500 versus my 100,000. And I'm just saying that I have $100,000 in personal credit just to be lenient, you know? If she uses $3,000, she's at 75, 80, 85% utilization. I'm at 100,000. By the way, I have more than 400 something. I'm just saying, just light numbers. $100,000. I can go out. I can blow stupid money. I can go buy two pairs of designer shoes for 3,000. Not that I need them. Not that I would, but will. I spent $3,000. I'm at 3% utilization. You use $3,000 out of your 3,500. You're at 80, 85, 90% utilization. Like, do you see how like credit is almost just like an illusion? Like credit is it's a life hack, and a lot of people just don't understand. It's super basic and simple. And for me to give out free value, like obviously like it isn't just like hanging out with me, because that's what you get with me. What you get with me is always learning. And that's what, fortunately enough, that's the feedback that I get all the time. Eddie, every time I hang out with you, I learn something new. And
Yep.
then I also I also kind of like blew her mind. I was like, here's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna pay off your debt. Your utilization is gonna drop down to 0. You're gonna hit up the homie Eddie. He's gonna get you 25, 30, 35, 50, 60, $80,000 in credit. And then I'm gonna invoice you those 3,000. You pay me back. But what's the difference? You actually kept your credit lines. And she goes, wait. That that wait, what? She goes, can you say that again? So to her, it didn't make sense at first. It was possibly because I was super excited and just like blurted everything out super fast. Or to her, it was like, can you like explain everything slowly? So I said, I explained it to her again, and she goes, you would do that for me? I'm like, you guys have no idea how easy you guys have it. Like, of course I would, of course I would. I would do that to anybody that I trust. And super thankful, super grateful. But that's just like me giving out like free value. And not only that, you guys know I do so many free calls. And this is like to lay some bullshit out. I do so many free calls on speaking about the credit system, because there's a lot of people out there charging and teaching it incorrectly. Like that's the thing that go
Yo,
ahead.
hold up. Bro, hold up, bro. That's the next topic, bro. Come down,
Oh,
take it easy, man.
I was gonna tag you in, but yeah, as for right now, we'll just leave that topic for like a little bit later, just to wrap it up. Giving out free value, trying to educate people as much as possible. Like that's just
Yeah, dude.
hear the passion in my voice.
So it's super funny that you bring that up, because you're like, every single time I meet you or hang out with you, like you provide so much value. Wes told me the other day, we were talking about how it was when the very first day I met Wesley, I was at your house, she came over to your house, and I just said, hi, my name is Eddie. We introduced real quick, and I was like, hey, come over here, sit down. And I was like, here, what's your Experian login credentials? Like she was like, oh, okay. And then she just went with this. An hour later, she's taking down notes, everything she needs to do.
And I promise and I guarantee the only reason why you kept talking is because she was taking notes. I don't, to those people that actually appreciate the value that we have to offer, you're going to continue to receive it.
Right.
And I'll honor that. I'll honor that.
Exactly.
Second, that I get I'm good. That's it. I mean, that's it for you. You already know how it'd be with me.
Exactly.
So it's just,
are we even friends? What the fuck?
are we even friends with brothers? What you mean?
No. If they tell me I'm good. Fuck, are we even friends? Shit, the hell?
Even friends? Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, like damn, like I didn't know you could go ghost so fast.
For real. All right. Okay. Now, since you were trying to get ahead, let's finally talk about the other subject. So, the other subject that we wanted to talk about, you guys, is business ethics. Basically, how to navigate gray areas in your business. Because in every single form of business possible, there are some areas where you could potentially be breaking the law, and some people know it, and some people don't know, right? Like, for example, when you first start a business, and you're super excited and you don't have an LLC set up, you don't have a business account set up, and you're just taking payment over Zelle and stuff like that, you might not know that, hey, you might be breaking law. And how about when you are doing credit repair? Hey, you learn how to do credit repair and you're super excited, you want to start and you want to be able to help people. Well, depending on how you get paid, depending on how the contract is worded, depending on what state you are, you can be doing it illegally. So definitely there's gray areas and you'll need to learn how to navigate that, right? And then especially for those listening to this, to be honest with you, if you're listening to this, it's probably not you. But there's so many people in every industry where they're known as scammers, they're known as people who are just have shady business practices, and especially in the credit repair space. I don't know if it's because we are so involved in the credit repair space, but we know there is so many shady companies and shady people out there who don't have a good sense of ethics out there. And this is why we definitely want to bring this up so we can bring it to your guys' awareness. We want to, how do we provide value to people? We bring up their value, their level of awareness, and we tell them how to make money, right? So talking about this, one of the things that I've learned working with Sean Adams, my business partner, the guy who manages my sales department, is that there's three levels, or there are three things in order for a company to be successful. The first one is ethics. The second one is technical skills, and the third one is admin. Let's focus on the first one, ethics. Basically, this all falls down into the founder and the CEO's responsibility. The whole point of the CEO is to write down what he envisions for the company and make that into policies, right? That's what the CEO does. The CEO is not the one doing the grunt work. The CEO is not the one doing the day-to-day tasks. He just sits down, chills, fucking takes a hit of weed and fucking starts dreaming on how to make his company better, right? So what you got to do in this section is really think about, so first, ethics. It all revolves around the mission, the person, like I said, the person behind the company, the brand, and where do they draw the line in the sand? What are we willing to do for clients? What are we not willing to do for clients? What are we willing to do for results? What are we willing to do to get more money in the bank account, right? To become more successful or financially successful, right? What are we willing to do? What are we not willing to do? Are we willing to fuck over a customer over? Are we willing to break some, laws that potentially we can get away with, right? So, and there's some great examples within our industry that we want to talk to you guys about, right? So, first of all, let me provide this value to you guys. How do you do that? You first want to write out policies for everything in your company. You want to write out the mission statement, the avatar of the company, what are their problems, what are the solutions you guys offer. There's so much in work in that, and I actually want to bring in my business partner for the social media management company, because that is what we do for clients. We want to be able to give you guys resources and how to build a brand of a company and how to build all these policies and things that you guys need to create in order to hire new employees and give them and paint them the vision, right? Because that's what the CEO needs to do. And he needs to create policies and procedures so that when a new employee comes into the business or a client comes into the business, they know exactly what the purpose and the goals are for that company, right? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about things in the credit industry where we know or we feel like is in the gray area or is definitely in the dark side, right? So Alexis, let's start off with you, man. What is one thing in the credit industry, like, dude, people need to be aware of right now? Total scams. What do they need to be careful of? Alexis, you're muted, bro.
Yeah, I was just gonna unmute. So definitely one of the things that I think we were talking about it just before we started the podcast is CPNs, and we in fact talked about it in another previous episode with Credit Gems. And honestly, the thing is, when it comes to TikTok, you're gonna find a lot of misinformation there, and sadly, CPN is one of them. They'll tell you, oh, with this one unknown hack, you can basically achieve a lot of credit goals and whatever else. But honestly, like, it's a bunch of pork. And because TikTok is so like popular and stuff, like, it spreads like wildfires, and it just does no one any good, and it can in fact hurt them in the long run.
Right. So here we go. So let's break it down for everybody listening. Again, you and I know exactly everything about CPNs, but for a listener, they're like, what the hell is a CPN? So first of all, what does a CPN stand for, Alexis?
Shoot, I forget, but
Okay, so you guys, CPN stands for so it's not a determined name because it's not doesn't even exist.
mhm.
So there's multiple names. There's client privacy number, client protection number, so many different things. But it's basically it's supposed. Oh, so where did the idea originate, bro? Alexis.
Where did the idea originate from?
Yeah,
I remember we were didn't it originate
like the concept of this.
the concept.
Like celebrities and people trying to hide politicians, stuff like that.
Yeah, so people use I assume like they want to hide like their identity as you were saying, or I'm not
Yeah, so
understanding your
like a lot
question.
of people, so a lot of people are like they're saying like, oh, CPNs are a thing because this is how celebrities buy houses, and then people don't know that the houses are theirs, or hey, people who are in the uh what is it that whenever someone gets targeted and they've got to change their whole identity and they protect like a witness protection program.
Custody.
What was that?
You see, protective custody.
Yeah, or a witness protection program for the United States, and they changed their whole identity. They moved them to another state, and all that stuff. Oh, they need a CPN. They get these CPNs, so they say it's from the government. They change them. So, Alexis, what triggers do they market or do they hit to a client to incentivize them to get this? Like, what pain points are they attacking?
If they're looking for these type of clients, it's probably because they have some sort of debt, or they're trying to basically hide something that
Right. Yeah.
is,
So
yeah.
so yeah. So a lot of these companies, you guys, they're trying to sell CPNs, these fake numbers, right? What it is, it's another like they tell you it's a brand new social security number that you're gonna start fresh. So what they're promising is like they're trying to find people who are highly uneducated. I'm not trying to offend anybody who's been a victim of CPN. It's just unfortunately, this is not known. We don't get taught this in school, so everybody is financially literate about this anyways from the beginning. So they're looking for people who are not financially literate, right, who don't know about this. They're looking for people who have bad credit, who can't get financing for anything. They can't get approved for a car, they cannot get approved for a home, they can't get approved for anything. So they look for those people and they say, hey, instead of going through credit repair, which may or may not work, how about you get a brand new social security number? They're called CPNs, a fresh start. And these are totally legal because celebrities and politicians and people in the witness protection program, they get these all the time, right? Well, unfortunately, that is wrong. First of all, there's not a single company in the United States that can legally give someone else a, a new social security number. Now, can a company help you apply for a social security number? Yes. Can a company help you apply for an ITI number? Yes. However, you have to apply with the only administration that gives you that, which is the Social Security Administration, right? Or the IRS for the ITI number. Um, so that is the only, so the government is the only entity that can give you these numbers, right? And they don't even call them a CPN. If you call them like, hey, I need a CPN, they'll be like, what? What is that? So you guys got to be careful for these people, and you got to be careful with your families as well. If they have bad credit and they're like, oh my god, hey, I just found out this opportunity, I'm going to get a brand new social security number. That is a big major red flag. Run away, block them, report them to there's a way to report fraud, right? I think there is a government website where you can go ahead and report people and companies that are doing fraudulent things. So I highly recommend you guys. It's like the program, right? Some shit like that. And then people actually get compensated if they're able to collect money off of it. So now, how do they get these numbers? They get these numbers from, first of all, just generating random 9 numbers. They get these numbers from people who are still children and they don't use their social security number. Why? Because they're children. Um, the third option is they look for people who have just became deceased, they passed away, and numbers are not being used because unfortunately they passed away. So they use all this combination and just steal the numbers and then they sell it to you for a high price. We're talking thousands of dollars. I've seen them range anywhere from 1,000 to like $5,000, right? Very, very expensive. Now, has anybody here have heard of someone that's bought in a CPN and has a tragic story?
Personally, no.
Good.
Personally, yeah, no.
I've had one client who's I had an issue with this because at one time I had a client that came to me and saying, "Hey, I need your help ASAP. I need to fix my credit in 30 days." I was like, "That's not possible." Right? So I was like, we first of all, we can't do guarantees, it's illegal. And second of all, what's going on? Tell me about your situation. Unfortunately, this lady was sold a CPN because she had bad credit. She really needed to find an apartment, right? So she was sold a CPN. She paid a few $1,000s to this company to get a brand new CPN. And guess what? They applied for a few credit cards and she actually did get approved for like 1 or 2 credit cards. And she was able to move into her new apartment. Guess what? 7, 8 months later, they did a background check and they noticed that the social security number was not hers. And they evicted her within 30 days because of a fraudulent application. So this is like, you guys, it could really damage people. This is extremely dangerous. And either the people selling these things, either they know and they're just scamming people, which is such a shitty way to do business. And second of all, or they're gullible and they don't know what they're doing. But in my honest opinion, if you become someone who's selling CPNs, I can almost highly agree that you know what you're doing and you're fucking scamming people. And that is the wrong way to do business. And it's such a horrible way because at the end of the day, you're going to be harming so many people. Imagine if she had like babies, right? And now they're going to be fucking homeless. And her mom could be potentially be serving jail time because she did something highly illegal. I think it's called bank fraud. So they also closed her credit card accounts and everything. It was horrible. So again, you guys got to be very, very careful with these people. Uh, Eddie, the situation that you wanted to bring up was about someone in the credit repair space. Can you talk about that, bro?
Yeah, too many people actually. It's not just one specific person. And the thing about uh the way people portray themselves to be, a lot of them talk good shit about credit, but the thing is like the vast majority of the time, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my main Instagram account is still down that I'm still fighting to get back. I am for the people. I've said this before. I'm for the people, and I'm the one that's always calling out these fucking scammers. I'm just like, don't do business with this person. This person doesn't know shit about credit. This person doesn't know shit about cars. This person doesn't know shit about credit and cars. This person doesn't know about fucking. There's specific people that I just plain and simply wouldn't trust. Like, um, there's obviously it's kind of hard to put more ethics to a specific race, but we've talked about this before. There's specific people that we don't do business with. Um, and I like to call that bullshit out. And if you guys ever like, if you guys find me on Instagram, I don't have the most followers right now. I have like less than 300. Why? I don't tell anybody about my fucking Instagram, but I can promise you that is me behind that Instagram account. Anyways, feel free to always reach out and ask me, have you done business with this person? Have you heard anything about this person? Because if it was for me, I can make a list of easily 50 people, that are doing business incorrectly or unethically, or well, obviously, and it's like needless to say, like my people could vouch for me. Any little thing, I'll be like, I automatically don't like this person. Why? Because in business, if it's not a yes, it's a fuck no. Oh, do you feel comfortable doing business with him? Well, I've seen him do really good things. And then there was one time where he did this and I didn't feel too good. If it's not a yes, it's a fuck no. It's a fuck no from me. And it's actually that simple. Fuck feelings. You know, essentially by doing things illegally, you can legally get in trouble. By doing things illegally, you can legally get in trouble. You know? And again, my Instagram is down because of that. But god damn, there's just so many people. And it's funny, there's a specific guy here in Las Vegas that tells you to get your EIN first and then your LLC.
Dude, that
The
is the
hell?
dumbest thing ever.
At the very beginning of this call, I did state there is you are an entity, and then there's your social security number. Then there's the business, which is an entity, and the EIN number, your employer identification number. That's what you apply for. Basically, what this person is preaching is there's a social security out there, and then you're bored, or first you get a social security number, first you apply for your EIN number, and then you open up an LLC. No, it's completely backwards. You guys cannot trust people like that. And it's like, how can you feel comfortable posting information like that? Like, and this all kind of like goes down to like, did you even do your due diligence? Exactly who are you learning from?
Right.
And it's,
Yeah, dude. So it's super funny how we've talked about this in private, but there's certain people when we meet them and they tell us they do credit, and then we ask them who were their mentors, and if they say a certain list of people, we immediately go, "Gotcha, not following you." Dude,
it makes total sense. It makes, oh, who'd you learn from? Oh, this person. Ah, no wonder. Of course.
yeah,
It's like the thing about me is like, once you know, and this is what I always tell my students, even though you guys have the information, even though you guys already have the knowledge, ask me basic questions. Try to catch me in a lie. Try to catch me
try to catch me
false,
slipping.
yeah, try to catch me slipping, try to catch me falsifying information. Because to a lot of entrepreneurs, Eddie, you know this, the reason why I don't like a lot of people is because you ask them something easy, they have an answer. You ask them something difficult, they have an answer. I would respect you much more if you said, you know what? This isn't my area of expertise, but I have a massive network. I'm going to get you an answer. If I can't get you that answer, I'm going to point you at least in the right direction. Go to him. He's the master at that. He's the expert at that. He's the one that teaches that. He's the one that taught me that. And that's respectable. But no,
Right.
motherfuckers would much rather sell, oh, well, I'm a business owner. My job is to solve problems. And it's also to answer questions. So I always have to have the answers. And this is that thing. This is why I don't like the Tates. This is why I don't like the big names. This is why I don't like, fuck them. I just throw them under the bus. That's why I don't like them. That's what they would literally say. That's what they would literally say. My goal is to have answers. Fuck you. You're not an expert at everything. Be an expert at 2 or 3 things. That's it, max. You know,
Right.
it's also your network. But in essence, and just to bring it back, always, because we're all learning from different people. Always ask whoever you're trying to learn from who they learned from, because chances are they're supposed to learn from somebody that's bigger than them. They're supposed to learn from an expert. And chances are the reason why you're going to this specific person is more than likely because it may be cheaper. Let's just be honest. You know, at first I couldn't afford my 50K mentor. I couldn't. And now that I have a 50K mentor, I got into his 1K mentorship first. and then I deviated. I learned skills, money making skills, how to get passive income, which passive income is not as easy as it seems. I started to obviously make more money by increasing my value, and now I have this 50K mentor, who at first I paid $1,000 for, but that's entry level. And like, not to talk shit or anything like that. If you guys think $1,000 is a lot, that's probably, I wouldn't even say that's average. That's low ticket almost.
That is very low ticket. Yeah.
That's low ticket, and that's honestly like,
Yeah, man.
can I
Yeah.
say it?
So to
That's
bring it back to what we were talking about, there are certain people when I see, for example, last night, the last 2 nights, I've been on my Instagram and I've been deleting people that I follow, right? And I'm like, don't do business with him, don't do business with him, don't do business with that person, or they're just not adding value. Why should I be wasting my time seeing their stories or anything that they post because they're not providing value to me? And then I was seeing that, holy shit, there's a lot of people that are like fake credit gurus here, and they're not. I see profiles and I can tell that there's certain profiles like immediately just red flags all over them. I'm like, fuck, I really don't want to like
question,
stereotype here or stuff like that.
question. You can see those red flags. Say I have not the best credit. I don't know you. Do you think, say, I'm just like the average Joe that's not financially literate?
Right.
What can I look out for, or do you even believe I can determine whether this person is legit? That's a yes or no question. Do you think I can determine whether this specific person is legit or not?
Just by looking at their Instagram page.
Yes.
Okay. Yes and no. I mean, there could be red flags for sure, but at the end of the day, you need to talk to the person to see if they're actually knowledgeable.
Hold
But
on.
it takes
Hold on.
expertise.
Hold on. My question is, if I'm the average person that's not financially literate, do you think I can determine whether a person is legit or not by looking at their Instagram?
Then not really.
It's a toss up for me, you know.
I I I don't think so, because say this fake guru, let's call it what it is.
Right.
If people can determine whether he's fake or real, they're supposed to. He's not selling himself well enough, you know.
Right.
What do people? Okay, so like, to answer my own question, which you answered correctly, uh, a person is not supposed to determine whether you're legit or not. They're always supposed to want to do business with you. They're supposed to throw money at you. Last week you spoke, stating, "Oh, the second that I got on a phone call and I had a conversation with these potential prospects, and they noticed how educated and passionate I am about credit, they immediately wanted to throw money at me." That's great. Why? Because they at least got to speak to you, correct?
Right.
Versus just looking at an Instagram account, like, if I mean, yeah, it's so easy to fake it now. And this goes to
Right.
you guys. What are some red flags to look out for?
Okay. First of all, I look at how they dress. I look at how they dress. I look at what they're trying to flex. If they're flexing a lot of knowledge, like if they're like Alex Hermosi, who's just providing value, he's not flexing anything. He's the guy's in a fucking tank top shirt with his hair's not done. He like he's just sitting there providing value. If I see a bunch of pictures of them holding money like fucking like this and
Ghetto
and
rich, ghetto rich.
ghetto rich stuff, then I was like, dude, that's an immediate like I just don't like your style already. Like it's but here's again, that might be my bias, but for some people that may be like, oh wow, he's really successful. That's my type of people, right? And if that's like your type of people, hey, fuck it, hey, go for it. Perfect, cool. But that's not the type of person that I am. Like I've never been that type of person, and I don't like that type of person either. I like for example, I think that's a little it's they're focusing on the wrong things and then they're trying to get people who are not financially literate, like you said. And I think that is trying to prey on people who are not knowledgeable, right? They're trying to prey on people. And I feel like that's disgusting. Where I'm like, I want to be able to provide as much value. I want to be able to give as much of my stuff for free and be able to help as much people. Because think about it, if I could be like provide as much value and people come up to me and be like, hey bro, because of you, I was able to get my first $30,000 in business credit, but now I need help. How can I get more? Perfect. Hey, let's jump on my program. Let's get you to the 250,000, right? I already know that they're vetted, they're ready to go because I was able to provide so much value for them for free. And I already know they got a good credit because they were able to get approved for at least $30,000 to $50,000 already, right? And I'm not attracting the wrong crowd. And one of the people that have said that a lot to me recently is Rene. Rene is like, I unfollow, like I delete people off my Instagram. They cannot follow me if like because that's not my clientele. He's not worried about how many subscribers. He's more worried about the quality of followers that he has, which is gold, right? So it is so yes, there is a lot of red flags that I can take a look at. And just because I have more knowledge and credit, there's certain things that there's some certain verbiage. As soon as I see it, I was like, major red flag. Like for example, CPN. If I see CPN, I block that person ASAP and report them. But there's other stuff that we know. Like for example, I'm very I get very wary of people who talk about forex,
Me
people that
too.
talk about crypto, people that talk about not, and I'm not saying again, not saying all people that talk about crypto. I'm not saying that because I do believe crypto has value in the future. However, people that talk about consumer law for credit repair, people like, oh, do you know that you're the bank and that you can get any loan underwritten from the bank because of how consumer law works, and they
When
have
I
truth, but in reality, it's not practical.
when I
But
hear,
again, what's that?
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but at the end of the day, hey, maybe I may be wrong because I don't have that much knowledge in it. And actually, I was just talking about Renee last time I was in Vegas. I was like, I might actually pay someone to teach me consumer law and learn their tactics just to see, first of all, maybe I am missing out of something, or just to see how much they warp the truth to their ideologies, right? Um, but there's other stuff.
The
People
verbiage,
that teach you to file police reports. I'm I don't know if I should throw this person under the bus right now or not, but my very first credit mentor, on his course that he has, he tells people to file police reports to remove shit. And unfortunately, that's illegal. Like, and it's like, man, you're doing so much great things, you're providing value to people, but like 80% of what he teaches on the credit course, even though I'm super grateful and I don't want to talk shit about this person, even though Eddie has a whole rant about him, I don't want to talk shit about this person. Unfortunately, like 80% of what I know, from what I know now and what I'm seeing on his credit course, it's not the truth. And it's like, man, this guy's successful. This guy, what the hell? Now he's charging $30,000 a year as a mastermind for this knowledge. And I'm like, and 80% of it is wrong. Like, what the hell? So yeah, man, it is, and it's that type of person. Like, dude, I remember when I joined the 8 week mentorship, we went out to eat. And I told him like, oh yeah, I joined the 8 week mentorship. I'm very excited. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, once you learn credit from them, yeah, bro, after learning credit with me, you're probably never gonna learn anything new with credit. And dude, he was so fucking wrong. There was so much more that I learned, and I still feel like, oh my God, there's still so much more that I still don't know right now about credit. And it's like that mentality, like, oh, I know enough and I'm good. I'm Gucci. I know everything that there's need to know.
the verbiage that I automatically is guarantee, or let me show you how, because more than likely, first of all, in business, you're not even supposed to guarantee anything. And then the whole let me show you how, you're gonna show me how to do what? You're gonna show me how to do what? The whatever you say right after that, I'm gonna go Google how to, you know what I mean? So exactly, it's like, why am I going to pay you to do something that you want to teach me? Let me see if I can do it on my own first. And then if it's a complicated process, then that's when I'm gonna pay more attention. But I'm not necessarily giving in like that.
Yo,
Those
actually,
are the biggest red flags for me. Go ahead.
that's huge. That's really good that you said that. That reminds me of, again, I learned so much from my business partner, Sean Adams. Again, I got to bring it up. We were in Coronado last week. We were talking, and one of the things that he told me was, well, one of the things I told him was like, hey, I just started a new company. It's the social media marketing agency. Why? Because I need it for my brand. It's going to help us get more clients for credit and business funding. He's like, cool, awesome. What do you guys do? So this is what one of the things he taught me, and I'm going to teach it to you guys. You got to tell people transitions. That's all they care about. What's a transition is point A to point B in a certain time frame, right? So for example, in credit, in business credit, I get you $50,000 to $250,000 in business credit in 30 days, right? That's what I want to do. I don't want to learn how I do it. You don't want to learn, like, I just want it done. For example, when we sell credit repair, I don't sell credit repair. People don't want credit repair. They don't be like, oh yeah, fucking let's write these letters, right? They want what credit repair is going to give them. So what do you, instead of saying, hey, get your credit fixed in 30 days or less, or something like that, how about you say, hey, buy your dream home in 30 days or less? That is way more like, fuck yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, right? That's what they want. So I was talking to him, okay, and he was like, perfect, what do you guys do? And I was like, what do you mean, what do? We manage people's social medias. He's like, bro, what do you do? We have video editors, we edit their videos, we're promising them like 15 videos a month, anywhere from 15 to 30, depending on the package. He's like, bro, transition. What is your transition? 15 videos a month and every 30 days. He's like, no, better, do better. And I was struggling for 5-10 minutes, and I was like, okay, bro, can you help me out? Where, like, okay, clearly I'm still failing at this. Can you please give me the best transition for a social media management company? Dude, so easy. I increase your sales 30 by 30% in 30 days. Because that's what videos do. That's the whole point, that they're hiring a social media management team. They don't, dude, if they didn't have to post videos every single day to make more money, they wouldn't do it, right? Their whole goal is to increase sales. That's the reason why they need social media management. And that's what people don't understand. They need to step away, look at the bigger picture, and understand what they're trying to promise. So this is when they think like, I want to sell them how-tos. You don't sell people how-tos, bro. They can Google that. Like, that's what Google is for. Google is there for the how-tos. The YouTube University is for the how-tos. You want to be able to give them transitions, right, on what they really want. Credit repair, buy your house in the next 6 months. Hey, sales or anything, increase your sales in the next 30 days by 30%, by 100%, but whatever you want to say, right? Because then they were like, oh shit, that's what I want. Cool. How do you do that? Perfect. Here's the step-by-step plan of what we do to make it happen. We curate a personal brand for you. We take that branding material, we create content scripts for you. We edit those and manage them and post them on your social media daily. We turn those leads into customers. Boom. That is so simple to understand. Beautiful. Sign me up. That's a $5,000 client for you right there. Boom. Right? So again, there is, and that literally ties back up into the financial literacy empowering entrepreneurs, because becoming a great storyteller is what helps you build a personal brand and a company brand and all that stuff. So knocking two birds with one stone right there. Lexus, final thoughts on that, bro. What is going back to the whole gray area stuff, bro? What was the last one that we wanted to talk about, or did we hit them all?
Yeah,
We
honestly,
really hit 2 topics. There's a third one.
No. Did we hit the business ethics? Like people that in the credit space are scamming shit.
Oh,
yeah, oh yeah, honestly, like I think we hit a lot of it, because you guys were talking about how when you guys look at Instagram profiles, we know how to spot these red flags, right? But the
Right.
average Joe, let's say it that way, they're not going to be able to, or they're going to have a hard time. And I know I have some of my boys hit me up on Instagram. They'll be like, "Hey, do you know this guy? So and so." Like no names, of course.
Alexis,
And
your camera went off.
I'll fix it later.
For sure.
Then they'll be like, "Hey, like, do you know this guy? He's so and so. He's supposedly a guru and whatnot." And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure. Just give me the profile." And then I see the profile and I see instant red flags. But then they tell me, "Oh, they've helped me out. It's with a lot of my credit journey, blah blah blah." And then I take deeper looks into what they actually post on their stories, post reels, etc. And honestly, like there's too many fake gurus out there,
Bro.
and
Yeah.
it has to stop, because
It's not
eventually
gonna stop, bro. It's too profitable.
it's
And the funny thing, you just made me think of two more things that are red flags. You know what's another red flag, bro? Surprisingly enough, Eddie, you're gonna be shocked by this. If their prices are too cheap.
oh yeah.
If they're selling, oh, learn how to fix your credit ebook for $30. I'm like, what the fuck? You think fixing someone's credit is worth only $30? Like, don't get me wrong. I want to be able to provide as much value to people, but that if you're selling that for $30, that product must be ass. It must be fucking horrible. You must have spent 5 seconds making that. So at the end of the day, it's literally a waste of $30. I'd rather spend $3,000 and make sure that what I'm going to waste my time learning is not a waste of my time, that it's actually valuable, that I'm not going to waste my fucking time, right? And all these people fucking doing like, they have like 5,000 products and they're all like $5 to $50, you know? So
I
awesome.
could name a couple people that do that and have that.
Yeah, let's not, bro.
No
Let's not
names,
get
though.
canceled. No names.
Yeah, no names.
Okay. Last topic, you guys, to wrap this baby back up. The future of work. Where is this heading? Post 2020, everything that happened. Obviously, it's very obvious that people are preferring remote jobs. Companies are suffering and we were talking about this before the podcast, the real estate market, the commercial real estate market. Why? Because so many people, so many huge companies are not renewing their leases. They're stopped paying the rent. They are commercial building owners are for letting go of a lot of commercial properties, giving it back to the bank because they're just not profitable. Why? Because people are working from home, people are traveling. You can get a really high paying job online and live in Mexico, Costa Rica, Colombia, go travel the world, do all this stuff that you couldn't do before. So, what do we recommend? How can we profit as entrepreneurs in this market? So, Eddie.
The first thing. Oh, so wait, which first topic do you want me to talk about though?
So the future of work, basically, where do you see it going, and how can we profit as entrepreneurs in this new market?
Yeah, well, obviously, COVID opened up a bunch of our eyes where, at least for me, and at the time, I was going to college in person. And that opened up our eyes that we don't actually have to go to school to go to school to get educated. That's the first thing. Same thing with work. A bunch of companies don't actually have to have their employees come in unless they require physical labor. Taking into consideration the amount of time that at least, I mean, I'm a man and you guys know how I dress, basketball shorts, plain t-shirts, and my slides. Think about like all the women, right?
Women.
They always they get ready. They start getting ready an hour and a half before. A lot of people don't take that time into consideration, you know. Um, I mean, I never did up until like I started seeing somebody, but scratch that. From there, where do I see? I obviously see a lot of companies, obviously more companies opening up to going more remote. I see a lot more things done online. I mean, when you go to Costco, there's only I think there's only like one cashier. Everyone else is just ordering like their pizza, like in the food court specifically. They're just like using like the computers. Artificial intelligence is always so taking over, but that's a topic for the future. I mean, uh, in essence, I've been working for myself for like the last 3 4 years, and I'll go as far as to say that I'm at least a little more uh I have adjusted more to this lifestyle already. So it's not something that's completely new to me. That could be more new to other people. I think the people that are going to have difficulties with this are people that aren't willing to accept the change.
Yeah, big time. So you brought up very valid points. So I want to give out my perspective because we don't know entirely if all our listeners here are entrepreneurs or some of them may be still working a 9 to 5. And I want to be able to I want to obviously first, what do we do to provide value? We raise that level of awareness, and then we want to put you in a position to make a shit ton of money. So let me do that for you guys. So first of all, again, COVID taught us a lot of things, right? A lot of people can produce from home, from a computer, sitting down. Now, the status of the market, like I said earlier, companies, real estate, the real estate market, and the commercial side might collapse. We might have the same thing that happened in 2008. However, it's not going to be on the residential side. It's going to be on the commercial side. And that is good and bad, right? It's good for existing entrepreneurs. So if you're in this position, I'm very sorry, but you're getting squeezed, right? So for the entrepreneur business owners that have the commercial properties, they're vacant and they're not generating cash flow, they're letting those go. But guess what? How do we capitalize on that as entrepreneurs? That's, dude, when in 2008, when the housing market crashed, that was the best time to buy steals, right? Like as soon as you bought the lowest point of 08, 09, you bought properties, you just waited like 2 3 years, right? The property values were going skyrocketing back up, right? So that's what happened. Credit creates cycles in the economy. So you got to see this as a buying opportunity, right? This will be in a few months. I don't know when it's going to keep going down. However, this will create a great opportunity for new entrepreneurs to buy commercial real estate, right? And be able to learn and repurpose. So, right, like Eddie said, companies need to learn to adapt, right? And that is very, very important. I literally just had this talk to my business partner, Nick, for the social media management company. He was talking, I was telling him, since I run multiple companies, he wanted to get my perspective on an issue that he was facing. And I told him, as a CEO, you need to create company policies. Why? Because company policies dictate the procedures. And if you have solid company policies and procedures from the beginning, as soon as you onboard a client, sorry, not a client, an employee, you can hold them accountable to that. When all of a sudden you've been relaxed and you've been trying to be the cool boss, which I totally understand. I'm the cool boss. I'm very nice and giving with my employees. We go to the Philippines, we take them out, we go on vacation with them. I give them bonuses. I'm like, hey man, I've been super impressed with your work. Here's fucking an extra bonus right here, just on the spot. I've done so many cool things, and I'm very lenient and understanding. However, I still have an expectancy for them to produce. And when you try to all of a sudden demand change, when before you were this cool lean boss and chill, people hate that. People hate change. So this is why it's so hard for companies to last multiple decades or centuries. I think that the top 500 companies, the normal cycle of a Fortune 500 company is what, 25 years, 30 years, something like that. I can't remember. Anything more than that is like really good. So this is why Coca-Cola, their stock is like flat as hell, but it's always slowly going up because it's existed for more than 100 years, right? That's a solid company that you know for a fact it's not going anywhere. Disneyland, not going anywhere, right? These major companies that have been here for decades to over a century, they're here to last. Um, and they're proven to adapt to change. However, a lot of companies don't, like Blockbuster, right? What are other companies, bro? The taxi service, taxi
Radio
drivers,
Shack.
Radio Shack, right? They didn't learn how to adapt to a market. So you guys need to learn and take advantage of that. So how do we take advantage of that as business owners? First of all, hey, now we don't have to buy a whole office to do this. However, how about we repurpose the mall, or we repurpose the Walmart store that used to be here, and now it's a big giant warehouse. Well, shit, turn it into a warehouse, right? I'm pretty sure Eddie can stockpile that motherfucker up, right? So be able to then repurpose and learn how to use it to the new market, right? How to now, if you are an employee, you're a business owner, you can hire, instead of hiring people in your local area, well, now you have remote workers all over the world, where either they're here in the United States, because now people in the United States are very open to become remote workers over in work from home, or in the Philippines, Colombia, wherever you need them from, as long as they have the skills and you're able to manage that. And we're probably going to go over that topic in a future podcast, how to actually manage remote work, mastering the remote work process. So as a business owner, that's how you can take advantage. As an employee, hey, I'm an employee, I work for a company, I'm a 9 to 5. How can I take advantage of this? Beautiful. Hey, would you like to work from home? Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't it be better if, like, instead of you living in San Diego right here or LA and it's super expensive, dude, how much is rent, Alexis, in LA for a two bedroom, one bathroom, and a decent? I'm not gonna get myself killed as soon as I walk out of my house neighborhood.
Honestly, it depends, but you're looking at 2,000 plus at least, even
Dude,
25
yeah,
plus,
you're being too nice. I think it's like,
2,500
yeah,
plus.
it's
Yeah, at
closer to the
least.
$3,000 range, like high 2000s, right?
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, and then you got your car payment, and you got utilities, and then you got every single time you decide to go out, fuck that. How about you decide to travel the world? Go to Mexico, go to Colombia, go to Brazil, and you stay there for a certain amount of months, and you travel the world, you get to see the world, and you're working from your computer, right? You allocate a certain amount of hours, you learn a high paying skill through your computer, and you're able to take advantage of that. And guess what? Dude, Eddie, I'm about to fucking give this sauce, and they're not ready for it. You ready?
Yeah.
This is the thing that we were talking about in the Philippines. So you already know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Oh God, you're gonna be so mad that I'm gonna give this out away for free right now. Okay, so as if you're an employee, you have a high paying skill, you can work from home. I have a friend that is doing this right now. This guy is originally Chinese, lived in the United States. He's American, US citizen. He lives in Tijuana now. He works as a coder. He makes $150,000 a year coding for just a startup company. He has full benefits, dental, health insurance directly from the company. He gets vacation pay, PTO, all these amazing things, and the $150,000 a year. And I told him, well, What if you get a second job? And then what we do is we hire you a VA. You pay him $30,000, $40,000 a year. They do you vet them, you make sure that they're as good of a coder as you. They take the second job and you just offload that work, and now you're getting paid $300,000 a year. And then once you do that, you go find another job.
And then another one.
And then another one. And you just keep scaling from there. And you just keep hiring coders. And if one of them finds out, guess what? They're not gonna sue you. They're just probably gonna fire you. You get fired from one of them. Oh no, there's thousands of other companies you can go work for, right? So, and guess what? People are already doing this. It's not like a hidden secret that we have, but
Yeah, no.
it is people already doing this, and this is something. If you have a high paying skill, this is something you can definitely leverage. Boom. How's that, you guys?
That was sauce. That was 7-figure sauce.
Big sauce, 8-figure sauce, man.
Sauce. Yeah.
All right, you guys. If we got nothing else to add, Alexis, do you want to add anything else before we go?
No, I think we need to stay on that 8-figure sauce right there. I couldn't
Beautiful.
I couldn't make a 9-figure sauce.
Not a nine cheese ceiling smacker.
No, not even that. Can't top
Damn.
it.
All right. Well, you guys heard it here first. If you guys want to hear from us again, message us. Message me again, books on my Instagram. I'll send you guys the way on how to get that list of books. So
Message
you guys
me.
can get them for free.
Gurus.
What was that?
Message me, fake gurus, if you want a list of everybody not to do business with.
Dude, and let's create a free deliverable. Yeah.
No, like I don't think you understand how like serious I am. Like, guys, like I have a list.
Yeah, no, Eddie has a list. So, all right. Now, again, you guys can all contact us through Instagram. Again, these episodes are dropping every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And with that, we're signing out. See us next time.
Later, guys.
Boom.